Well, I think the repression from the Erdogan regime is unacceptable. His repression of basic human rights, the freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, is unbefitting of the great democracy and nation that we all know Turkey to be. We will continue from the Congress, from the U.S. government standpoint, to press Turkey to move into a better direction and move in the right direction. And frankly, what's so upsetting is I think the Erdogan regime's used the coup, and I think it's very questionable to even call it that, but has used that to even further their repression and to move to one-party rule. So look, I think the Turkish people, Turkish culture, Turkish nation is just a wonderful thing that should be supported. But Erdogan and his regime is moving the country in the wrong.
I think one of the things we all have to do is stand up for the people that are oppressed. And whether it's in Turkey, whether it's in Cuba, Venezuela, wherever it is, I think we have to stand up for the people that are oppressed by their government.
We hope that that our actions here will inspire them to continue standing. We send a lot of foreign aid around the world. We like to export freedom and the idea of freedom when we can, and so we stand with the Turkish people. Tyranny is on the rise everywhere around the globe right now. It's a very serious problem, and we're committed to do all that we can from here to assist with
We
that.
stand for freedom, we stand for democracy, and we stand for human rights across the world, including in Turkey. Turkey is an ally of ours, but they should be held accountable for human rights violations as well.
We need to be very vigilant and vocal when it comes to the issues of human rights all around the world. I'm the daughter of a Cuban refugee, and unfortunately my mother had to flee her homeland due to oppression, and I see the same things taking place in Turkey under Erdogan. And I'm very much concerned about it, and we have to make sure that we as a Congress, as a country, and as citizens who appreciate our freedoms and liberties, that we speak out for freedom in places like Cuba, in Turkey, in China, and we must stop this oppression that is taking place in dictatorships across the country and the world.
I've actually visited Turkey. I've met with TV journalists, paper journalists, and I've heard some of them that I've met with are actually in prison now. And I just have to say it's a travesty. Something we enjoy here in the U.S. is freedom of press, where we can exchange ideas and talk freely. And it's very sad that in what's supposed to be democracy in Turkey, we do not have this. I think the international community needs to know that these freedoms need to be reinstated in Turkey, and these journalists need to be freed.
Members of Congress are with you. This is a movement that we're all in solidarity on. We want to lead. The members of Congress, our nation should lead in the defense of freedom around.
Stand with you and look to support you in any way we can. There's one thing that I think is very, very important, that we as America stand as a beacon of freedom across the world and stand for democracy and for human rights.
And we do have human rights violations in Turkey that we need to examine in the Congress. And we need to re-examine. Turkey, they're a NATO ally, but we also have to stand up for what's right, and that's stand up against human rights violations.
If we come together and fight as one, there's no dictatorship in the world can, beat us. I feel like we just need to do whatever we can to help the people and educate our kids.